This is the Weekend Buffdate with Buff and Boris.
Welcome to Weekend Buffdate. I'm Boris. Buff is crashing a wedding on the 2 train, so I'm alone for this week's live wrestling news. Now, this week's Raw opened with a one-on-one contest between Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin. And following his loss, the Constable, yes, he's really known as the Constable, was attacked by Finn Balor. Now, he might be getting a better in the ring and on the mic, but sandwiched between 2 main eventers, Baron Corbin sticks out more than a wrestling shirt worn in public. You know, it seems that after years and years of work, the crowd is finally starting to cheer Roman Reigns. And it was such an easy fix, really. All they had to do was keep Lesnar off Raw, give him the Universal Championship to never appear, set Raw in Roman's home state, have Lesnar beat up and cut ties with his only beloved ally, threaten to take away a major title match at a major pay-per-view, and put him up against Baron Corbin, who the crowd literally wouldn't cheer if his name was Phil Brooks. But it worked! Oh, it finally worked. And now Vince McMahon can die happy, assuming, of course, that Vince McMahon can die. Kurt Angle told Seth Rollins he could pick a tag team partner to go up against the formidable tandem of Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. And the Architect could pick any wrestler in the entire WWE universe. Maybe he'll go down to NXT. Maybe he picked Roman. Roman evidently tried to tell Seth earlier on that he wouldn't be able to make it to the match, to which Seth said, What is it, boy? What is it? What are you trying to tell me? Is Dean trapped in a strip club bathroom again? Tell me, boy, what is it? Paul Heyman was interviewed about the recent falling out with Brock Lesnar, during which he appeared disheveled, unshaven, and looked like he had been up all night crying just from the anticipation of another Lesnar-Reigns match, once again proving that Heyman isn't just the advocate for Brock Lesnar, he's the advocate for every single wrestling fan. Ronda Rousey had her first match on Raw against former Divas champion Alicia Fox. Defeating a former champion was a great start for the former UFC fighter, but it was a former Divas champion. So join her next week when she takes on a gauntlet of former women's champions for even more experience, including Deborah, Jillian Hall, Sable, and of course, Hervina Wimpleman. If she beats all of them, she faces Santina. It's a hot time for women's wrestling in general. I mean, the Mae Young Classic actually started to tape some matches this weekend, and the whole tournament is proving to be a huge success, which makes it the second most significant thing ever spawned for Mae Young. On SmackDown, The Miz and Daniel Bryan continued their feud about Miz's baby. No, not the little crying thing. I'm talking about his reality show, Miz and Mrs. Are you guys watching this thing? This is the fakest, most scripted show Miz has ever been on, and that factors in 10 years of Raw and SmackDown and Road Rules challenges. And just when you thought The Miz couldn't be any more punchable, he reveals himself to be the kind of guy who pronounces GIF, GIF. You know what? I hope Daniel Bryan kicks his goddamn ass. Alright, let's talk about real wrestling over in New Japan news. In a bid to make the New Japan product more international, New Japan President Harold May has banned cursing and audience harassment from all New Japan shows going forward. And since we all know that international is rich guy code for more like WWE, Mr. May is also considering bans on cool moves and good wrestling. And if that's successful, he'll consider further bans on nuanced stories and passionate fans. Meanwhile, the B block boils over on Sunday as Kenny Omega takes on his soulmate Kota Ibushi in a dream match. Hey, the big Ring of Honor New Japan G1 Super Show at Madison Square Garden sold out with over 10,000 tickets bought in less than 1 minute. And WWE responded by signing all 10,000 fans to a 3-year NXT contract. Look in my eyes, what do you see? A mounting stack of legal fees. That's right, Colt Cabana is suing former best friend CM Punk for legal fees associated with their court case against WWE's Dr. Amann after Punk supposedly said he would cover Colt's fees, and they retracted his offer. Now, personally, I think the much richer CM Punk is being $1 million baby about the whole thing, but to be fair to the straight-edge savior, at least he finally found a fight he can actually win. Alright guys, that's going to be all for this week's Weekend Buffdate. I'm Boris. Until next week, I got 2 words for ya. Good night!